gonna be cool. Have a bar there and cotter pins. You know what? Shit. All right, Dave, I'll let him do it. Whoa. What are you doing playing with the snake?
We're starting here, starting right now. 1, 2, 3. We breathe it in. We feel our hearts, they're pounding, rising up to feel the fire dance wild through our veins. We take a chance, no, we'll never be the same. Giving it all we got, giving it all. Giving it all we got. Climbing up to the top of the world. No fear, we're gonna make it. Everything we want is ours. Whoa.
Hey guys, how you doing? How you doing? Morning from here on the Thai farm. Well, among other things, whoa, I did take delivery of my 2-for-1 solar lights. And what I did was last night, I mean, it only had about an hour of daylight or whatever, so the battery's not that charged. And the luminescence of these solar lights is strictly dependent on the charge. But I just laid it down here at night so it could project and like light up this area right here. Wanted to see how that looked. And right now I got the line over here and I just have the panel laying down on the ground. But I got another one and I put it over there on the pond. And just in that little bit last night, yeah, they looked all right. I was happy with that. I wanted to have one, you know, kind of shining up on the silo over there. Until I changed that, I was thinking when I was walking over here this morning that maybe I should just put it here and then let it shine down into the pond and all that. That might be better. The pond, the other solar light, I put it right there, right over here on the end, so that it would you know, shine back up on all this. And I did go over there to the other side of the pond last night, take a quick look. It lights it up, it's all right. But check this out, man. This is the bloom of, it's not an algae bloom, because that's not really an algae. It's more of a flower. But I can see all the time, I think those must be water bugs maybe that are causing all the pew pews over there. I don't think it's the little fish, I think it's the skippers. But water's coming in a little bit more, although my wife would like more water, so I might take it off. Hey, there's a one lone motorcycle guy through the rice fields, and it's on a red one. But anyway, if we put fish in here soon enough, we will, they will eat that whole thing. So we'll probably wait till this whole thing is green. It ekes out about 1 foot or 2 every day, so we'll let it get pretty saturated, and then we'll put some fish in there and let the fish devour it. I did figure out, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but I figured out that I need a bigger inverter. My controller. My controller is 20 amp. I need that at least 40 amps. So I ordered that on Lazada, but it won't be here for a few days, probably a week. So I'll have to wait before I can do that again. I also realized that on my inverter that you know, it shuts off after about an hour and a half, maybe, most likely because it's just voltage issues, you know. Maybe it heats up to a point where it's safety, you know, for itself, it shuts off, or it just, the draw through the inverter gets too much at one point or something, and then and the inverter shuts off to protect the battery or itself. Either way, I'm probably gonna need a new inverter too. But shoot, that's right, I need to get my tape measure. What I thought I'd do today, because I can't do more on the solar, is you know, y'all saw my pump, right? Pump that I bought, and I think in those videos I talked about probably taking the pump and my actually compressor, for that matter, over to my fabricator guy and have him build me a cart so I can pull it around, because one, I don't want to carry that pump around, and I don't want to put it on the dolly like I have been doing, the hand truck, and hand trucking it around. So cover that up. So I'm gonna have to, so I thought I would need the cart, right? And but now I've decided, I'm not gonna bring it to that guy. I do have a few pieces of metal back here. I should be able to weld them together, make a little flat cart frame, and then I have 4 wheels from the old gate, and try and weld those wheels, or maybe I'll weld the axle to the frame so that I can you know, basically have a little small square flat deck cart with robust wheels, and then I can pick up the pump in its cage, don't get that ant, and then just set it on the cart. I might have to do something different for a makeshift handle on the cart, but one of the things that went on here yesterday was I had the electrician over, not for my solar, but I'm gonna bring my fan in there because I'm gonna have to do some work in here. Gonna need my fan. I don't want to freaking die. It's still early, so the heat and humidity hasn't showed up yet. But if you've been watching this channel and you know a little bit about my setup over here, I got a crazy shop. I did find a pair of you know, bush cutters or whatever, not bush cutters, a pair of pruning shears that were kind of rusted, so I've been soaking them in oil. Maybe I can salvage it. What's going on here? Oh yeah. So yeah, had the electrician over, and if you, like I say, if you've been watching the channel, my neighbor built a house over here, and as is customary in Thailand, there's always going to be temporary power to the construction site. Usually, I mean, PEA, the power authority, can come out and set that temporary up for you, but a lot of times the construction guys will just go to a neighbor or this or that or whatever and do it, because, you know, no harm. So I offered my neighbor over here, and so the electrician guy had come over. He had strung a line all the way from that guy's house way over there through the rice field, and then down through my trees, and then around my house to the side of my house over there to where my main line comes in from my pole. And he just spliced into that line, and, you know, and carried a new part of the line all the way over there, or 2 lines actually. But now PEA has already laid poles on this guy's property or on the road, and the electrician went ahead and connected him to his power. So he has his own power now, which meant that the electrician disconnected over there. And so I had my electrician come here, the guy who did the connection over here, and just cut the line right over here, like as it left the house. I had him cut it, and then there it is right here. And what I did was I just left it connected over there, brought that line way back here, and had him connected to my box here. So what he did was he took the heavy line and he patched it down, reduced it. This is probably a number 2 line or something, and he made it into a, you know, basically patched it to number 6, and then did the connection to number 6 for my fuse box there. I didn't actually look at how he did it. So he's connected to the bottom of this one as the main breaker, which I had in there, and then I got 2 individual breakers, one for the pump switch I put in, and one for the light switch I have. And then on the bus bar I have this pump float valve. The float switch is connected to that. He connected that too. I really only needed him to do this part, but he was here and he said, let me do it, let me fix this up. And so I'm like, all right, man, you go for it. And because I had the line that went from, you know, that I had all this connected myself, and I brought it up here, and then I brought it over there and down there, and then through that crack, and then right up that wall into the hole. So my line, what I do is I tapped into, basically into the line that goes into the kitchen plug, and I had that kitchen plug on a 32 amp fuse because, you know, you got microwaves and all that other stuff in there. But I had connected it to that and brought it back here, and that, you know, ran my shop. But that was always problematic because I could blow a fuse if I had too many things going. So now I disconnected all that, I ripped all that out, I brought it back to wire, took out the plastic and all that. So I don't even have that problem now, and that feels good. And I had the line going straight here. It's just hanging, so that can probably be fixed at a later date. But for now, my power to the shop is separate from the power to the house breaker. So the house, the big house breaker box, breaker panel, is not affected by anything I do here in the shop, which was my goal. And it actually does feel great. But anyway, so in addition to cutting that line, we had to wrap it up. That's heavy, you know, aluminum line. Wrap it all the way up, coil it up, and bring it back here. I coiled it up and carried it back to the corner of my property, and then the electrician guy actually went all the way to their property and coiled it up, you know, disconnect. I think they already disconnected it because of the, you know, power hookup. But anyway, wrapped all that shit back up, and the original guys who did like the foundation over there, I think, are the ones who established their own, have established that line. It belongs to them. So we coiled it up, left it over there for them to pick up. But the owners of the house did use, they did buy some additional line that was needed, and I had a piece that was here. It was probably about, I don't know, 10-15 meters or whatever. So I left my piece here and cut off part of that piece, and in the end the neighbor had a bunch of, you know, the extra wire, right, that was his, so he gave it to me. He didn't want it laying around his house, didn't have any use for it, so I brought it over here, and I don't have any use for it either. No. But, you know, as much as I do things around here, maybe I need it for temporary power. You know, I'm going to build something else, build another house or something. You know, I could run temporary power from here again all the way over to where I'm doing it or whatever. Or if, you know, a neighbor needs it or whatever, we can do it like that. I might as well keep it here. I don't have the space, but, you know, hey, I can keep it here. But yeah, so today, yeah, I need to go measure what I think, or how big my cart is. I don't know if there was something else I was going to share with you. Eh, probably not. Big thing back here was a new, you know, like say the new connection. New connection. I had been using the pump to pump water from the canal into this pond initially when we weren't getting any rain. And just like washing your car, right? As soon as I did that, it started raining. So we got more water. I didn't have to pump so much. But when it started raining or whatever, I brought the pump over here to my little Krabby Shack that I haven't finished. And I'll put it under here. Well, we'll see. What is that? That looks like it's about 20 inches is right at the thing. It probably should be a little longer. 22. Yeah, I think 22 will be all right. I don't want to make it too long. 22 by a little bit wider by 40 and 41. Okay. 22 by 41. I should make it so I can take these bolts out and bolt that to whatever's in the bottom of my cart. Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. But first, let me do that. 20. What did I say? 22. 40. Shit. 22 by 17. Remember that. Actually, it's in the camera. I should have went back in the camera. So 22 by 17. So what I have this one piece. As a matter of fact, this one piece about my neighbor gave this to me too when they were done with construction. That's this piece right here. It's square tube. It's only like ½ inch, I think, but I think because it'll be cut smaller, it'll be stronger. All right, if I had the big long lengths, it might not be strong. But I gotta add that up. So what's that? I got 20. What did I just say? 22 and 17 at 39, right? Yeah, let's say 40. 20, wait, 22 and 40. So 80, I need 80 for the whole thing. And maybe more, right? That's about 80. That shouldn't be a problem. I can make the square. And then I have an extra 50 or so in case I need it. These are my, let me put my glove on. These are my wheels. I had them on the gate. They worked real good on the gate before I, made the gate automatic and stuff. So my idea was with this metal, and I can already see it's not gonna work. I thought maybe I'd be able to stick this in here and then just weld that to that, and then I could do it like that, and the wheel will be in there. But as it is, it's gonna be one wheel, so it's gonna be about like that. I could weld the bolt to the bar. Maybe that'll add stability or something. So yeah, maybe I could clamp that down there and weld that, and then just wait for the weld to break. Oh man. Well, the rice is coming in pretty soon. It'll be all fields of green. Actually, today is the day that our the tiller guy, the tractor, is supposed to turn over our field for the last time before planting. But between tilling and planting, my wife wants me to throw the net in that pond, catch a boatload of certain kind of fish, and throw them in the field to eat any of the weeds as the rice grows. They'll be able to, I guess, that's in theory. But I do know that my pond over here, man, it's chock-a-block of full. Well, you can see right there, it's full, man. I like it. It hasn't touched the bottom of the bridge yet, but it's right there. Yesterday, my wife asked me maybe I should take water out of here, put it in the pond, and just, you know, suck it up and put it over there. Which I could do, but I'd be afraid that my pump would be sucking up little fishes. Not my 5,000 fish I put in there. Those guys are over there with the pakbong and the fruit, eating happily ever after. Well, my wife still feeds them 3 or 4 times a day. But anyway, let's see what kind of damage I can do with this little cart idea. Hopefully it works and it'll be 100% easier to move that pump around the yard. I'll get a big pull handle on it. My wife can just go if she wants to. Of course, I'd probably need an ignition. I bet I could rig an ignition. No, I should have bought a pump with an ignition. All right, man, let's get to it. As I was doing that just now, I went, wait a minute, is there any gas around here? I got some of my fluids over there, but I think I'm all right. Small shop area, you know, I try and keep my flammables in one spot, but in the middle of working, you might have dropped something or put something, can down or this or that. And yeah, you want to check that. Well, I have decided to change it up a little bit because I you know, everything I do here as I go along, I go, oh, that's right. Anyway, so I took the leftover metal and I made 2 bar. I was going to just make a square, right? And I put the 2 extra ones in the middle because this is where I'm gonna bolt the underside of the existing part of the pump, right? Pump cage, so I can bolt that stuff straight down. This is the bottom of it, by the way. It turns over like this, so I got plenty of room here, and because this is on top, the ends are going to be open, so I have plenty of room there. And I think if I just weld this all in place, one of the biggest things I always forget to do is to check, you know, that the dang thing is square, because I could easily weld it twisted, right? And then you're like, wait a minute, why isn't that straight? So I just try and make sure it's square to, you know, the nth degree or whatever. And now I just gotta put on my welding. Well, wait a minute, those aren't my welding shoes, so I have to go get my boots. Oh, and this is gas. Oh, it's half full too, so that'd be a nice explosion. I'll put that over here. All it takes is one hot ember to burn its way through the plastic. Oh, I should move my 2 gas tanks right there. I gotta move that out of the way because I want to weld here because it's flatter. This is one of the few flat spots of my shop. You know, later when I rehab all this, maybe it'll be bigger and I can. I still don't want to weld inside. I gotta set up a shop, maybe a shop table out here off the back where I can go out there and weld safely. Because, you know, we're big on safety here. All right, well, looks like it's coming together. Like I said, I'm just gonna wind up putting those welding these in place. I think it'd be better. Maybe I could do what I'll do. You know what? Instead of destroying the whole thing, I won't weld the thread part. I'll just kind of tack weld, although it's not a tack welder. But I'll just kind of give it a little bit of a weld on both sides of that axle, and then I'll maybe I can put something, you know, like a hose clamp or something around it and hold it in place, you know, like these. Oh good, I have a bag of them. That's cool. And they're actually the flip kind. That's right, sweet, man. So what I'll do, I just put a hose clamp around the axle as well with a couple of tight welds so that, you know, it really does resist any kind of, because it's not a solid bar, right? I suppose I could go say, go ask the guy, dude, give me a solid bar. But then I'd have to figure out how to cap the end of it. So I'd have to get a solid bar and then maybe drill 2 holes in it. But I couldn't do that. I'd have to have the shop guy do that with that industrial drill for cotter pins. Ideally, it'd be cool. Have a bar there and cotter pins. You know what? Shit. Maybe I should just take a ride out there real quick, see if he does actually have a bar that's that size. Don't mind the termite. A bar that's that size I can fit through here. And then I'll tell him I want it that length and see if he can't punch 2 holes in it. Maybe. Worth a try. Let's do that. Went over to my metal guy. Check that out. I want to just like bring everything over there. And I brought my pump over there too, so we could size it up. And he had a couple ideas and all this, and I was going to do it all. But I thought, you know what? All right, Dave. I'll let him do it. Shout out to Dave. And so anyway, he's going to do that for me. I'll go pick it up in the afternoon. Leave everything. He's put some stronger axles on it and stuff. That'll work out. I just put the boat in there because my wife's been out here walking around pulling lily leaves or roots. She's gonna try and keep on it so that there's not so many. They're not really showing right now, but I expect any day now there'll be water lilies coming up in there because they've been dormant. Well, that frees up my welding. Although there was another weld project I had. Oh, that's right, I wanted him to do that too. You know what, I should take this over there and just have him do it right now. Because I want him to make a better cart on this thing, man. 4 wheels, a little bit more robust. These are plastic wheels. Make the cart on this too. Or no, I'll let him do that one. We'll see how it turns out. Then I was thinking, you know, I ordered a couple of paddle wheels to make the aerator for the pond. Don't know how I'm gonna make it yet, but I saw the paddles. They're good. I ran over them with a truck. It was still came back or whatever. Anyway, they're 180 baht each, so $5 or whatever. And but I figured, you know what I'll do, because I fixed this pump and my solar is not, I would need like 2,000 watts of solar panels in order to run a pump. Even then you still need a, you know, separate inverter and all that, and charge controller, you know, all that blah blah blah. So I don't know. I think I'd rather just pay for the extra bump in electricity. So a long time ago, or last year, I had this pipe all the way out in there with that makeshift kind of fountain I made. I had since reduced it and made it, now it's a fountain over there. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reconnect. You can see where that valve is right there. I can just stick that pipe right in there and then have it go out, but I wanted it to have greater pressure, so I went and looked at my trash bin over there of PVC, and I found this one, which is it's a 1 inch, so I can attach it to the end of that over there. But this side had to go down to 3/4, or it had to go down to 1/2 inch. So I think, oh, perfect, because it'll give me more pressure. But I didn't have any 1/2 inch tubing, But what I did have was the white one, which is electrical, but hey man, it'll handle water. And this actually goes inside of here pretty snug. So I think if I just slap on the old, you know, PVC glue and all that and wrench that in there, maybe it'll work. And then what I want to do is I want to take the very end and I want to use my heat gun or whatever. I'm gonna flatten that down so it's like, you know, so that way when the pressure goes out there, it'll go, and yeah, maybe that'll work. We'll have to see. Oh, I know what I was gonna tell you. It was, yeah, so I've never done this before, and I don't know if anybody else has. I don't even know if it's gonna work, but my pipe, you know, that's a 3-inch pipe, and this is a 1-inch pipe that it draws of. So that means there should be room for another pipe, because this pipe, obviously this pump goes, my wife uses it to water lawn and stuff like that. All this is not using it, and I use it for all this other stuff. And this pump that I just fixed, I figured I could run it just right over here and have a separate pipe going down inside here. So basically drawing, you know, 2 pipes off of there. I don't think that my sucking the water out of this with that pump will affect this one at all. I don't think so. So yeah, and that way I can just, you know, use the well water to, or wait a minute, you know what, I'm gonna back all that up, man. Why am I using well water? I should set that up to where the draw is coming from the pond. I mean, it's not a dirty water pump, but I kind of made it into one because I took the bladder out of there and stuff. So maybe that's what I should do. Although I'm gonna need a lot more 1-inch, because if I'm gonna set the pump up over there on the bank or whatever, it's got to be long enough to get out into, you know, cleaner water to do the draw, so you can go ahead and spit out the rest. Yeah, I got something going here now. All right, let's see what I can create. Well, I guess so. I guess I got her. What I did was, I just put the pump over there. Oh, look at that, it's leaking right at the top. I just saw that, so I just turned it on. So tighten that down. Anyway, tighten that down. I just slipped that pipe in the bottom, but I taped it up again. I did a quick release here so I could take it off if I need to. But anyway, for testing, I got it sucking up over there, and I got it, or sucking up over there, and I got it spitting out over there. That was pretty cool. So I'm not using any well water. I'm just using what appears to be the pond water. I took some of them bottles and I just wired it to the end of this pipe. I figured maybe when the pressure comes it would do just that, and I am correct. So I did it. Although that's a fairly robust pump, and you can see, or maybe you can't, right at the edge of that, that's where I heated that thing up and crimped it, so I can get that kind of spray action from it. But like I said, it is the electric pump, so, but it's the old one. But it's pretty, like I say, it's pretty robust, so the old pump has power, and if I let it run all day, then I don't know, I guess what, you know, what I'd have to do is I'll have to look at last month's electric bill. If I run this thing a fair amount every day, We'll see if there's any marked increase, or you know, any significant increase in that. If I can go tighten that top nut. Although it's not the quietest pump, so. Whoa! Had a little blowout there. Maybe I do need to glue that. But, and the plug is short, so I have my extension cord over here. But I can turn it off like that. I noticed when I was putting that thing back on, they have like a hard washer, not a metal one, but hard plastic. This was just hard over time. But anyway, that washer had a crack in it. Okay, well, I fixed that one. No more leaks. I used tape and then I glued that. Well, just getting ready, just took a shower, get ready to go out to eat for lunch. Come out the door, and what did we see? This guy. What are you doing playing with a snake? But it looks like he might have already bit it. It's alive, so I'm gonna let him go, but I think I don't think he's gonna make it. He's got blood on his head, so I think he might have pierced him. Well, you never know, man. Snakes could be resilient. But of course, he had to bring it right up on the porch. Hey, I'm gonna show my dad what's up. By the way, this is got that stripe on the side. Kukri? Maybe. See that side stripe? This I'm gonna put him over here. Come here, man. Are you there? Well, he's moving. That's his last chance at survival. Well, what's that guy? I don't know. I think I'm at 75 now with the snake count. Yeah. I heard my wife got ready to go too. I heard my wife go, "Woo!" I'm like, "What's up?" And I walked out and she's pointing. I was like, "Oh, nice." Well, the sun has been pretty blazing today. I expect my solar lights to have quite a bit of, you know, brightness tonight. And boom, I know that has grown since this morning when I did this video. I'm gonna look at what the video says or it shows, and I'm gonna look at here. Damn, what I said, I said there's only a couple more days, right? Look at that. At that rate, hell, man, that thing might be closed up by tomorrow. Well, I did go back to my fabricator magic man, and kaboom! Turn that light on. So that's it, baby. Roller coaster. Woohoo! Way easier than having to carry this beast around. And like I said, I just brought him over to him. He did it. So he put new bolts in here. He had to get longer ones. Welded those 3 bars on the cross. And then they're resting on actually it's more of a steel pipe. He originally thought he'd have threads here and a nut, but he put like I guess you'd call that a cotter pin. Not the cotter pin I'm used to seeing, but hey, man, that works. And these are these are the tires that I had is existing tires, so I use those. But as I was bringing it back here, I realized that, you know, what would have been good is if this thing had the swivel tires on the front. That way, you know, when I'm turning corners and stuff like that, or even you know, swivel tires on front and back. That'd be cool. But it looks like it's pretty good. So next one is gonna be this beast right here. It's got a single foot in the middle, and then a, you know, a round one here for these two. But he should be able to just make a frame. I want to be able to get to that, you know, that drain here, condensation drain. I think he should be able to make a square just like that one. I'll make it a little bit more wider. He said he made this one a little bit wider so that it wasn't top heavy. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And I should be able to still pull it and, you know, do whatever I have to do to it. Didn't restrict anything. So yeah, man, very cool, very cool. It's a little bit heavier, but just a little. I already had my wife push it in the driveway to you know, make sure she could handle it. Not that she'll be able to handle full starting it, but hey, you know, if she wants me to hook it up and go drain something from the back, this way I can say, okay, go put it over there. You know, teamwork. And she'll have fun doing it, pulling it like a cart, like when you're a little kid, you know, you're pulling the cart. I might figure out how to put a handle on there. Actually, with that compressor, I do have to buy the tires, the new wheels for that. And because I have to buy them, I should be able to buy the swivel kind for the front, huh? To steer it, because and you know, those tires are, the one on this pump are hard. So because it was a hard surface up there by the gate, but because I have an uneven surface and the stones and rocks and all whatever, even if I have to bring that compressor on the backside or something through the grass and all that stuff, I'll probably buy the balloon tires, tubeless, but maybe balloon. They'll probably be a little bit more expensive. But yeah, well, it looks like the tractor guy didn't come today. I thought he was doing that today, so must have slept in. He's probably gonna do it tomorrow, which gives me a break so I don't have to throw the net and do all the fish stuff. But that's finished, so tomorrow I'll take, oh, by the way, it was like 300 baht or 400 baht. Had to buy some parts. Pretty good deal. Guy welded that whole thing, did all that. You know, that's custom work, dude. If I had to, I went to somewhere, anywhere in America to do that, it'd be 500 bucks probably. Oh, sure, we can do that for you. It's gonna be, you know, just $50 an hour, and it's gonna take us a few hours to do that, and then you can buy a few things, so parts and labor. Okay, you can have it for about $285. What the? No, I probably could have went to, what was it, back in California? What's that one? Well, Freight? Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight. That's the place where basically, now that I can reflect, that place is Lazada. They have all the Lazada products in there, and you can find them for cheap. So I probably could have got a cart for less. I saw at in Harbor Freight, they got there was this thing where they had these trailers like a, you know, like a trailer you could put an ATV on or whatever, right? They had a trailer, utility kind of trailer, and it was only like, I think like $200, right? And you got it, and then I think you had to do the assembling, which is not too difficult. You know, the tires were like maybe 12 inches. It wasn't too big of a trailer, but it was like 200 something. And what people were doing was they were going to Harbor Freight, and they were buying this trailer for like 200 bucks or whatever, and then they go and they post it on Facebook Marketplace for like 400 bucks, and people were selling them all day long. It's like, what? Crazy. Anyway, I talk too much. I digress. All right, man. Well, hope you enjoyed that for my little updates on my life here on the Thai farm. My completion of the task for creating a cart for my gas water pump. Update on my solar, which is dead in the water, or I should say dead in the sunshine, for about another week or so. And yeah, that's about it. All right, man. Thanks for watching. Keep watching and subscribe. That's cool. All right, back at you.